Another big day in here for us in the markets. If you've been following us in these videos for the past week or a half or so, you've known that we've been saying, hey, last week was the setup week with all the volatility. Watch for a big pop as we're going into this shortened holiday weekend here, usually bullish. And that's exactly what happened, and actually more so than what we could actually ever predicted. So all in all, nice big day in here. It just kind of, it's not really a crazy manipulated market. It seems that though, since the PDT kind of went away, or at least the rules are way less strict now. It seems like everybody's just following the flavor of the day in here, right? So back in the day, when you're looking at like the Qs or something like that, that you would always have, okay, it's going to be Apple, Amazon, and then Nvidia came along. Okay, Apple, Amazon, Nvidia, and Google, Microsoft. We're going to see what these are going to do, and that's going to kind of push everything higher. But now you can get those lagging in places while you're still getting that nice pop. So you have stocks like Micron, you have AMD now. Today it was SpaceX had a nice push in here, and it's actually pushing the whole NASDAQ higher as well. So it's more or less where everybody is trading, and then you're going to see if that stock has enough push behind it to kind of get the NASDAQ going. And then hopefully that is going to kind of jumpstart those other lagging stocks. So that's exactly what happened in here yesterday with Apple kind of lagging what's going on. And then you had a pop in Microsoft. Microsoft dropped. Now today you had a pop in SpaceX. And then Apple came along for the ride as the NASDAQ started rising. So we said all that to kind of look at the Qs in here on the weekly chart first. We ended the day 736.40 to the upside in here. We're looking at that 738 range. And then above there, we're really focusing on this upper trend line right here, right? 749, 750 area. I know that our highs in here are about 748, but we're going to be really focusing on that 749, 750 area. If we do get up near there, our RSI is going to be pretty overbought. So you might get a little steep pullback as we get close to that area. That's going to be a good, healthy pullback for us. So that should not spook us once we get up near there. But if we can get back up there and just get maybe a little bit of a reset, more consolidation or something up there, and then we can take that step over there. You know, I wouldn't expect for this thing to break this week in the next two trading sessions and then hold. Obviously, things could happen, but I would say that as we get near here, look for a little bit of a pullback or consolidation or something to kind of reset what just happened so far, basically since Friday, right? So we had crazy moves on Friday. Obviously, Monday morning, that big lull that we had, and then just a huge spike up. So far, pretty drastic moves, basically 30-ish points in our Qs from our lows that came in last Friday. So look for a little bit of consolidation up here somewhere, especially if we get up near those 750s. In after hours right now, the Qs are trading down about 30 handles or so. So kind of keep that in mind as we're looking into going into pre-market tomorrow. We're going to look at Apple in here. As we mentioned yesterday, or I guess as we mentioned, Apple kind of lagged on us a little bit yesterday, but going forward today, we got pulled along for a ride in here for about a 3-cent pop or 3% pop in here up at 290. That is going to be good for us. We're going to be focusing on this 9-day EMA in here sitting right at 291. That is going to be someplace that we will be looking for a little bit of resistance or something to just give us a little bit of a hope in here just because of this big red candle that we had in here last year. We have a little pattern going on here, right? Big, large drop, a little bit of recovery, large drop, a little bit of recovery. We don't want to continue that. So a hold over that 9-day EMA will be good for us in here. A little bit of psychological kind of breather, like, okay, we made it past our first point. Let's see how we can go from here. To the upside, above that 9-day EMA, 294, then 303. To the downside, we're going to be down here right around that 280 mark. We have 275 also, and then you have to worry about this lower trend line or this 50-day SMA right here. This is going to be your support. So if we get further down than that 280, just kind of focus on this down here. We really need to hit this. We're going to be saved by this 100%. If we get down here, this would be definitely a good buy point because we will pop from here 100%, even if it's just a little bit of a dead cat. We're going to get something here with this trend line and this overall 50-day SMA down here. So that is going to be an area that is going to be our worst case in here going forward. We're also going to take a look at Rocket Lab in here. This is a stock that's kind of been sort of on a tear in here. It's a newer popular stock that everybody seems to be getting in on in here to the upside. And you can see we're kind of megaphoning out in here on our overall structure. To the upside in here, we're really looking at that 105. That's kind of our main point in here. You have that 9-day EMA, not really worried about that too much. But if we can get back over that 105, nothing's stopping us to those 120s. But again, it might be a hard struggle to kind of clear and hold that 105. But you do got about a $6 expected move in here in about 2 trading sessions. So it's definitely doable, especially with a hold. And if we do get a nice little overall pop overall in the sector, then obviously I think that is going to be doable. And really nothing, like we said, nothing should be stopping us from the 120s, but we'll have to wait and see. Might have to kind of take a breather before we go from there. So to the downside in here, we're looking at that 100 cycle level, which is basically 99.58, but we're going to chalk it up to about $100. Downside 86.75, and then you have that lower trend line all the way down here right around that $77 level. So that's what we're kind of looking at on these stocks. Again, just kind of wait for the flavor of the day, see where all the money is moving, and then play that accordingly. I know there's different supports and resistances for a lot of different things that we could get in on. But again, it seems like it's kind of a day by day case in here for more or less every stock. Especially if you're looking at that correlation with those major ETFs. So just because the Qs went up does not guarantee now that, okay, Apple's going to pop a little bit or anything. It doesn't guarantee any of that, right? So you kind of have to keep all that in mind as you are trading. So let's see how we're going to finish out this shortened week and keep an eye on that overall market correlation. All right, guys, if you like this video, make sure to check us out on all of our social media. We also have a Discord service if you are interested, and you can find all of our socials in the description below.